Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Jacob. This is Forgotten Voices. So I know it's been a little bit, but I just had the urge that we needed to talk about some stuff. So, if y'all know, we had a incident in Peru where some locals were being kidnapped, some locals were being taken, and their faces were being chemically taken off. Sounds kind of weird. But it is a local legend called La Pelacaras, and that's Spanish for face peelers. They speak Spanish there in Peru. Anyway, we had reports of that, and Timothy Alberino, he is an explorer and author, very well known. He went down there, and today we'll be discussing some of the things that he said. I suggest you guys go look at it. It's a very interesting report. It's really in depth, really well done. Timothy went down there with him and his friend, and they did some interviews. They gave away a lot of supplies and surveillance stuff that they could use. Nothing crazy commercial stuff, but anyway. So Timothy Alberino goes down there and he chats with the locals. He interviews the girl that was actually taken, and these aliens were in the process of actually taking her face off. Thankfully, they didn't get to actually finish what they started, but they were interrupted by some friends friends of neighbors, who, by the way, actually saw the attack. So this is nothing, no psychosis or anything like that. This actually happened to her. Now, the locals there in the city made a petition for the Navy, the Peruvian Navy, to go down there and to have a formal investigation. Originally, it was reported that they actually did go, but it turns out they only sent two local city cops from a nearby bigger city. And these two cops made the determination that they were gold miners with jetpacks. It sounds pretty crazy, but that's what the official, statement was. So of course that's complete nonsense. Nobody believes that. Locals don't believe that. Nobody believes that. Just putting it out there. So Timothy Alberino goes down there. He talks to everybody. Some really crazy stuff going on down there. It's a small little village about 2 hours from the biggest city. I did have a video kind of showcasing what kind of happened on my Instagram, so you guys can go check it out. It's a short form, nothing crazy. This is pretty much what the locals described. Tall, 7-foot beings in this weird armor. So there was two kinds of armor, black and silver. These aliens were always in pairs of two or more. They had weird shoes on that allowed for propulsion or levitating or something to that degree. And there were reports of the locals that these aliens would actually be extremely agile, by the way, would jump over like whole houses. Kind of crazy, reminds me of science in a way, but this is pretty much what they described, and this is actually happening in Peru like a month ago. I think it's still ongoing. They're still saying things. When Timothy and his friend went down there was a storm, a rainstorm, and they didn't have any activity during that. In fact, the locals actually told them that when a storm comes through, activity slows down, activity dies down completely. So another thing that kind of reminds me of science as well. So they go down there and they tell them that, and it's a long video, an hour and 46 minutes, but I suggest checking it out. Very concise, very in-depth. His report, his expedition, super cool. Definitely watch it. Super interesting. And what I find, there's two main takeaways. I'm not gonna ruin it for you guys. There's so many details. But two main takeaways. So these aliens, they came. Well, honestly, it's a legend for the locals there. So from years by that people or aliens come and they peel away faces, hence the name. And that's been going on for years, but just more recently it's, sped up or however you want to say it. So that happens. Now Timothy and the interview of the girl that was kidnapped, she did have lacerations on her neck. She has a very compelling story. She remembers what happens, and I think PTSD definitely had a role to play. Now the girl herself insists they were humans because they spoke Spanish. Now we don't know if that's something that she's kind of just, her mind's just kind of trying to make sense of everything. Either way, the aliens pour some cream on her face, and thankfully, like I said, they don't actually finish. They grab her and try to kind of take her behind a shed or something. The interesting thing is 7-foot tall aliens had a hard time taking this young girl, 15-year-old girl, anywhere is crazy. Like anybody in the army, any soldier, any policeman, any capable adult man can, without a doubt, drag a girl, 100-pound girl, 115-pound girl, no problem. If there's two of them, easy stuff. Just grab her legs, grab her arms, and they take her. It's not hard. It's 100 pounds between both of them. Shouldn't be an ordeal. But these aliens had a hard time with a 115-pound girl. So, although they're tall, although they're very agile, they're apparently kind of weak. Now, that may be a gravity thing, wherever they're from, the gravity is different. They may just be physically weaker. I think that would be the case. Now, another takeaway that I don't think Timothy really addressed in this report, that maybe I missed it, but the motive. Like, why are they doing this? Why would you go through all this trouble, find a victim, actually taking off her face? For what? I can only think of it be some kind of trophy, or maybe they're trying to get her face for like replacement. If you're trying to, get a alien plant in there to, I don't know. That's really the only two things I can think would be possibly be motives for this, and it's pretty crazy. I don't know if what do you guys think of this? If you guys have any different motives, any possible motives that they could have for trying to take off somebody's face. Let me know in the comments, and that's it. Next time.